How you going, people? Man, this is a good one. I know I'm gonna get some jackboot hate on this one. I'm pretty much gonna side with the officer on this one. He shoots an unarmed black man. Rick, you can't side, you're a racist. Totality of circumstances. This trooper shoots an unarmed black man, and I think it's justified. And let's take a look at it. Okay, so at 3:13 a.m., and the timeline's important here because this guy gets like pulled over like 3 times within a few hours. Off-duty Red Bank police officers pulled up to his car, which was stopped on Garden State Highway.
Not
no lights. I come up out of nowhere. He was like gonna kill me, but yeah. So I back up. As I'm backing up, you guys are an off-duty come over.
Okay, so he stopped because he's driving with no lights on the road. Lucky not to be killed. All right, that's one. So officer comes back, and he stopped with a tow truck driver. 4:54. Okay, about an hour or so later. A different trooper pulled up behind Gordon's car again, which was stopped on the left lane. The trooper called a tow truck, set out flares, and then departed. Now, every dealing with this guy seems under the influence, not stable, and not able to drive. And not one of these cops pick it up in all their contacts. They just give them tickets, and they just get on. And this is a typical mentality of the highway cops. I just want my quota tickets. I just need to write so many tickets, collect my revenue so it says I'm working, and then I'll move on. I don't want to do anything else. So that's why this guy ends up being dead, in my opinion. But I still think he's wrong and a cop that killed him is right. Here we go.
Here to step off to the side.
So this cop walks up to him and tells him, step off the side. This guy got his hands in his pocket. I stopped someone on the side of the road. You need to get your hands out of your pocket. Are you on parole or probation? You'll notice in all these videos, no cops ever ask, are you on parole or probation? Because I was contacting mainly bad guys, everybody I contacted, I asked them that. Again now, you're thinking, good grief, Rick, you'd ask me? I wouldn't be pulling you over. I'm contacting high-risk offenders in bad neighborhoods doing things that are associated with bad conduct. Not freaking speeding people or rolling through a stop sign or some other BS revenue-collecting, wimpy, pink panty cop activity. So, this dude, as soon as I show up, get your hands out of your pocket. Are you on parole probation? You got any weapons or anything on you're not supposed to have? I got to pat you down, then I'll help you. My safety, I'm out here in the middle of the night. You're parked in the middle of the freaking road with no lights like a freaking idiot. So, obviously, I don't feel too safe around you. Rick, you're a bootleg jack. Whatever. So this guy gets to go stand over here and the cops. Somebody steers the car and he pushes. Perfect. And the cop leaves. So let me get this straight. A guy is too stupid to get out of a freaking lane at night with his lights off. This is the second time they've contacted him. I don't know if he knows about the first or not, but I don't need to know about the first. He's too stupid to get his car out of the lane. He's got his flashers on now. Why weren't they on the road? So the cops contact him, push him out of the road, and they just leave him. This is the mentality of, I don't want to get a complaint for being a racist. I don't want to pursue anything. I'm just going to do the minimum. I don't care if he's a criminal. I don't care if he's drunk. I don't care if he killed somebody. I would rather him go out there and do that than me have to explain why I picked on a poor black jogger going to doctor school. So I just won't do anything. So later they see the guy. Somebody gives him a ride to go get gas. So obviously the guy ran out of gas. Again, he's too stupid to turn on his flashers, but he gets a ride to go get gas. How's he buying for this gas? How he's paying for it? I don't know. 6:13 a.m. Another police contact. We've only been doing this for 3 hours. He's already been contacted again. Stops Gordon for going 101 miles an hour. He doesn't do an FST. He doesn't ask him if he's under the influence. He doesn't ask him why the hell he's driving that way. The guy gives him bullshit answers, and the cop says, whatever, let me write you a ticket and get you on the way so you can go kill somebody.
Hey, good morning. New Jersey State Police, got your license registration insurance? Thanks, man. Hey, I don't need to tell you why I pulled you over. You were definitely moving. You know that, too? You saw the lights on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
I saw you start slowing down.
Yeah.
Where are you headed to in such a hurry? I had you at 101 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, normally you ask somebody when they're going that fast, what's going on? Because sometimes it may be, hey, my wife's having a baby. Hey, my kid was just involved in an accident. I'm going to the hospital. You know, you find out things, you use discretion. You go, hey, man, calm down. You're going to kill somebody. You let them off with a warning or something. I mean, I've let people go that I've pulled over for going 100 or over 100. And if they either had a good excuse, they had a good attitude, or it was like, all right, I thought you might have been up to some illegal, real criminal stuff. As soon as I figured out you were just speeding, I didn't care. I'll let you go. So this guy, most of these troopers, very nice, very polite, very PC. Meanwhile, nobody recognizes the signs of this dude being a freaking danger to the public.
What's the reason for that?
I'm trying to get to a very far place.
To where?
I'm trying to get to a very far place.
Where's that?
In the video game.
To where?
Into the video game.
I'm going to a place in the video game, in the end of the video game. This cop doesn't catch a clue that this dude's under the influence or something's wrong with him. He's like, okay, let me write you a ticket and get you on your way.
The end of the video game?
Yeah.
Where? What video game? What are you talking about?
Okay, so the cop did not investigate further, didn't get him out, didn't do an FSD, didn't see if he was under the influence of drugs, alcohol, maybe prescription drugs, nothing. Let me write you a ticket, get on the way, because that's what the highway patrol does. I'm going to get me some good speeding violations. That's police work. Woohoo!
Hey, sir. Here's your license back. Listen, everything's good with your license. It's clean. Everything's valid. It looks good. But listen, just please slow it down, okay? You got a ticket for the speed, but listen, we just had a really bad accident up ahead.
This is called selling a ticket. This is making the person that you just screwed their insurance and their fees, and they got to go to court, and you've taken all this time. Also, you can get a little stat. This is called selling it like you really care about him. Like, I don't want to get you in an accident. I really care about you. I'm a sensitive guy, and I would hate to see you get crashed, because then I'd have to go take more paperwork because your dumb ass crashed, and I don't want to do more paperwork. But that's called selling a ticket.
And it's busy. It's Memorial Day weekend. So any questions, though, being that you're out of state, located on the top right, give them a call. And that's pretty much it. You're good to go. Just please slow it down. Keep it around 70 or so, and that's it, okay? Do you have any questions for me? Listen, the only thing I ask from you is please be careful pulling out. See the shoulder here? Use it as a lane. So build up some speed, and then carefully merge over, okay?
That's an important tip, because when you pull people over on a highway, if you don't tell them that, they will literally pull right into this lane and crash right in front of you. And now you're a witness, and there's a crash, and you were on a stop, and it's just a pain. A lot of times I told people, wait till I leave before you pull out. Because then if they crashed, I didn't have to see it, and I didn't have to worry about it. If you're too stupid to get back on a highway, I ain't worrying about it. I'm not here to give you warnings on a car. You got a driver's license. Stay in your car. I'll leave. Wait till I leave before you drive off. See you later. And then I'd leave. And then if they got crashed or whatever, maybe I'd hear about it later, maybe I wouldn't. Rick, you're a mean bootleg. You don't even care. I didn't care. I just freaking crazy people out there. Anyway, I digress. Here we go.
Have a good day, sir.
And they didn't show it, but he probably pulled right off the highway. Here we go. Third time in 3 hours. Or fourth time, maybe. 6:26. Now remember, he's just been contacted by the cops several times, and he's gotten a ticket for going 101 miles an hour. Guess what? He's going over 100 again.
Garden State Police, and see your license registration.
Okay, just from a tactical standpoint, I don't like the way this cop handles this stop. My gun hand is never used for leaning, for holding a license or holding flashlights or whatever. I've told people this a million times. My gun hand is either on my gun, resting on my gun, holding the gun pistol grip. If I need to do anything, I do it with my other hand. My hand, this hand, is reserved for my gun and my gun only. That's good tactics when you're dealing with shit people where shit can go down fast. That will save you really, really a lot of time, and maybe save you from even having to shoot somebody because you get your gun out so quick, they're like, man, I better not mess with him. Or they see you with your gun, they're like, this dude's ready, I don't want to mess with him. They've interviewed prisoners in prison, and they've said the people that have killed cops, the number one reason why they did it, the cop was lazy. He was too confident. He didn't look like he was ready. His uniform looked like crap. He didn't look like he was aware. They always said the reason they chose to attack and kill the cop was because they thought they could win and they could get away with it. Which is why you don't want to ever look like you're not ready. Leaning on a car with your gun hand, not a good move in my book.
You went by me at 110 miles an hour. That's why you're being stopped. Where's your
110. Wow, this guy really lost a lesson. Rick, they're just picking on him because they're black, and black people get pulled over more than any other people in the world, and you can see right here, they pulled him over 3 times in 3 hours, and it's just unfair. Yeah, okay. Keep freaking drinking the Kool-Aid.
The registration's the yellow car. Is this your car?
That's not bad.
Huh?
That is not bad.
You don't have the registration? Is this your car?
Yeah.
You don't have it in your glove box? It's a little yellow car. It looks like this. It's the one that's up here. You don't have it with you? Do me a favor, move your...
Okay, so this guy, again, these highway cops, they're just not street savvy. They don't get when suspects don't give you answers and deflect and start talking about stupid shit, and they don't have their license, and they're going 110 miles an hour, and they pull over on the wrong side of the freaking road, and they've got an out-of-state plate, and, I mean, they just don't get that these are all clues that you better freaking lift your game up. This shit can go bad quick. He's got his license in this hand, which is his gun hand, which means it takes another move now for him to go for his gun. He has to drop that. In one of my videos, I was holding a magazine where I was shooting with that girl out here at the ranch, and we were shooting targets, and I forgot I had I was holding her magazine for a magazine change. And I was demonstrating how to draw a gun, and I literally dropped her gun or magazine without thinking about it and put 2 hands on my gun. Because I used to train that way, and it was instinctive. This guy's got a driver's license here. Hopefully he's trained that way. My guess is he hasn't. Rick, they need more training. It's not training. It's mindset. It's standards. It's dealing and experience. You get better by doing something. Okay? You don't become a great horse rider by riding a horse twice a year on the weekend. You don't become a great skier by going skiing 2 times a year. You don't become really good at anything unless you do it every day, all day. Then you become good at it. So these guys are not good at being tactical because they are not tactical all day, every day.
Pull us closer to this because you pulled over on the wrong side, okay? We mean it's dead. Your car doesn't start now? Why is that? Because you turned it off and it won't restart?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to have to get you a tow. Stand by, alright?
Okay, 110, doesn't have his registration. Is it your car? Yeah, I'm driving. Really didn't even answer that. Did he run the plate to see if it comes back to him? I don't know.
I don't have whatchamacallit, a push bumper. The problem is you're partially in the lane. I don't want anybody hitting your car. Give me a few minutes. I'll be right. It won't start at all, right? Just stay in the car. I'll be right with you.
Just stay in the car. Man, this was a pet peeve for me. If you got out of the car when I told you to stay in, you were probably facing my gun. At a minimum, you were facing me with my hand on my gun, pointing at you like I was about to draw on you and told you to get your ass back in the car. He told him to stay in the car. All right, we call that a clue. Who caught it? I know you guys aren't trained. Some of you people went to Walmart School of Training, so you probably weren't taught this. When the door opens, we call that a clue.
Stay in your car. Don't get out.
Stay in the car, don't get out. That's twice. See, this guy's too worried about being nice. If I would have done that, I'd have been like, dude, I just told you to stay in the freaking car. It's dangerous out here. You're making me nervous. I don't want to be paying attention to you get my ass run over, and I don't want you getting run over. If you open that damn car again, I'm going to handcuff you and put you in the back seat of my car till the stopover. I'm not going to play this game. Stay in your damn car. Rick, you're a big bootleg jack. Look, I just didn't play. I was dealing with people I knew that they knew how to work cops and play games. Because I didn't do it, and it usually bit me in the ass, or I watch other cops pay, and I learned.
Man, we're in a bad spot. You got somebody coming at all? I got a tow truck coming.
So the guy, don't know if it's his car, don't have the registration, doesn't know how to pull over, going 110 miles an hour, and tried to get out of the car after you told him to stay in it twice. Where's his gun hand? I'll just lean on the car. I'm okay. I'll put my gun over here close to the car in case the guy wants to reach out and grab. I mean, it's just, to me, it's basic tactics.
Where were you going?
I need to get to the nearest car dealership.
The car dealership? What, to buy a car?
Yeah.
I mean, eventually I can give you a ride wherever you want to go, but where were you going anyway? Where were you driving to? Where was your destination today?
So the guy doesn't understand. He's driving a car dealership when they're not opened, so he's probably lying. He doesn't have the registration. He can't stay in the car. He's going 110, and he doesn't know how to pull over on a road. None of this is a problem to this cop. I mean, the signals and the red flags are just blaring to me, but not to the Highway Patrol, the CHP. This is New Jersey, I think.
Far Oak.
Where at?
Far Oak.
What's the name of it?
Far Oak.
I've never heard of that.
All right.
Okay, we call that a clue. When you work in a city and you're on a highway all the time and somebody's going to a place you've never heard of, call that a clue. Ding, ding, ding.
State, were you?
Far Oak.
I've never heard of that.
All right.
What state? Were you?
It's Far Oak from here.
What's that?
Far Oak from here.
It's far from here?
Yeah.
So I ask you what state, and you tell me it's far from here. He's not answering questions. He's deflecting. He's not responsive. Something's wrong with this guy, and none of these cops can pick up any of the clues until it's too damn late, and this guy ends up dead.
You don't have any friends nearby or anything like that? I'll drop you up. You want to go to a car dealership? But this time they're not open. They're not selling cars during this COVID-19 thing. Like, I'm trying to help you out. Where do you want me to take you to after?
Who thinks this cop is trying to harass this dude and be a jerk to this dude? Now, if I was on the stop, you could say I was being a jerk. But who thinks this cop is being a jerk and he wants to kill this guy? Because that's what the media is going to portray. He's a white man that wanted to kill black people. Look at him. This cop's being nice. He's offering to give him rides. He's let him get out of the car. He's being way too nice in my book. And his officer safety sucks. He's leaning. He keeps his damn gun hand up here. Now, with this leaning position, if this guy reaches or grabs a gun, he's got to push off from the car to get his balance, reach down, grab his gun, and then get it out of the holster. Meanwhile, this guy's probably pumping rounds in him. Bad officer safety and tactics.
After this, your car broke down. It doesn't start. Stand by. Hold on.
Their tow truck's at 44 northbound.
Okay, did everybody catch that clue? Where's the clue? Come on. If you caught it.
Stay in your car.
That's the third freaking time I told you to stay in the car. It's go time now. I'm done with you. But that's just me.
Come on, come. Send the car my way.
Send a car my way. So the cop caught the clue that this isn't going well and this guy's not saying. He doesn't articulate it well now. Hopefully he'll articulate it in his report. But he requested another unit, and that's going to be key to his state of mind. Why did he request another unit? He's going to say, man, this guy won't follow my directions. His answers probably aren't lining up. He didn't have a registration. He pulled over on the side. He'll be able to list everything that I've been saying, and it will make it sound reasonable on why he believed and did what he did.
What's that? You wanna sit in my car?
Yeah.
Okay, with the bugs and all that, come my way.
So now the guy even offers to let him stay in his car. I don't put you in my car unless I put cuffs on you. Now, I guess I can't say that. Sometimes I put somebody in there if I just want to get them out of safety, and I pat him down, and I didn't have all these other clues. With all these clues, you're not going in my car unless I handcuff you. But here's a bunch more clues coming up. Watch these clues, people.
This way. No.
He points this way. He's trying to walk him this way. This guy walks to the road. Clue number 14.
No. You got all your stuff. I don't want you on that.
Tries to go back to the car. Doesn't understand where he's going. Clue number 27.
No, I don't want the car.
Tries to walk out in traffic again. Clue number 57. I mean, it's just freaking crazy. He's like, dude, I'm trying to keep you out of the freaking road. Who, with no police training, thinks this guy is acting reasonable? Who thinks this guy is not on the... Who thinks this guy is normal? I mean, it's just crazy.
No. Walk this way. This.
Tries to walk out the road again. Clue number 67.
What? Put your stuff up here.
So he has two hands and has to actually guide and lead this person where to go. Do you think this guy thinks, I might fight with this dude, something's up? Do you think, man, I better be careful with this guy? You wouldn't know it, by the way. This guy keeps being so freaking nice.
Yeah. I gotta pat you now. Put your stuff up here. Put your stuff up here.
He had to tell him twice, put your stuff up here, meaning the guy didn't do it.
Maurice, did you want to wear a mask?
So he's got the guy in the back seat, seat belted. And he asked the guy, do you want to wear a mask?
Yeah. You want a mask like this to wear? Yes?
Yeah.
You want a mask?
Now, he's probably forcing a mask more for his safety than this guy's safety. I don't know if you got COVID, but if I can get a mask on you, maybe I won't catch it from your dumb ass. Because you're already acting pretty stupid. Maybe you got COVID. Maybe the new symptom for the new COVID is acting like a damn fool.
Did you have one in your car or no?
So he opens the car and gives him a mask. Nice guy. I still wouldn't have been opening the car. Once I got him in there in seatbelt, I wouldn't open that car door. But anyway, he opens the car door to give him a mask.
Get the bugs out of here.
And watch the suspect's hands. You're always watching the hands. What are the hands doing? He's undoing his seatbelt. We call that a clue. Okay, so here's where the stop kind of went to shit. Now the officer's in a predicament that, was the guy arrested? No. Was he detained? No. Will the officer say he was detained for his safety and that's why I put him in a car because he wouldn't listen and I was concerned? Maybe he'll say that. Maybe that's a statement. That should be a statement. But he didn't articulate that on the radio. I mean, I'd have put the guy, it would have been very easy for him to say, hey guy, you're trying to walk out on the road. You're not really answering my questions. I need to put you in my car for my safety. I'm going to pat you down and I want you to stay in the car because I'm kind of concerned that you're either going to get me killed or you killed. But he didn't say all that. Could he have been thinking it? Maybe. If and buts and coconuts, nobody's going to believe it. If he had said it, it's easy to say he was thinking it.
Get the fucking car. Get the fucking car. Get the car now.
Okay, so the camera footage is kind of tough here, and I'm going to zoom in on this area right here. Since this is where all the action happens now, and it looks like we've got a reflection. This is the back seat. So when they're fighting to get in the car, I think he's trying to get in the driver's seat and steal his car. That ought to be the officer's statement, but we'll see.
Get in the car.
Now remember, he's already got on the radio, remember, and asked for a second unit. Now, this is again typical highway patrol shit. Their officer safety sucks, their traffic stop sucks, their dispatch. I mean, there were some good dispatchers that when I worked that worked with me, but a lot of them, they didn't give a shit. They didn't pay attention. In a minute, when shit hits the fan and he asks for help, they're going to ask where he's at. He already asked for a second unit. Why didn't you ask him then if you didn't know? Why didn't you put out his location? Why, when he asked for another unit, said shots fired, why didn't dispatch come on the air and say, he's already requested second unit, R-22 is on his way, blah, 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 he's at this location, blah, 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 stop. Why didn't they do that? Because they're incompetent, because government is incompetent, because we hire quota hires and we hire low standard people, so it takes 10 government employees to do the job of one competent person in the name of diversity and tolerance. Here we go. So he gets in the car. It looks like, here's the car door in a reflection, and the officer's here. He just got on and said, give me another unit. So watch the guy try to get in his car. Okay, at this point, the officer needs to say, the guy was uncooperative. I put him in there. He tried to walk in the traffic. He endangered my life by trying to toss me into traffic. I had a fight with him on the roadway. I was concerned for my safety. He also tried to steal my car. He wasn't acting right. If he'd have got my car, I have weapons, ammo, other non-lethal weapons in the car. If he'd have got that away, he'd been a danger to the public, etc. Deadly force is almost authorized here. Now, whether it's authorized and justified, morally, this cop doesn't want to shoot him. But I think he could have probably justified shooting him here. It wouldn't have been as clean as it's going to get. Get out of the car! So he gets him out of the car now, and they're still fighting on the roadway with cars coming by at 70 miles an hour. Very dangerous. This cop's life is in danger. The suspect is endangering this cop. The suspect has the ability to cause serious bodily injury and or death to this cop. So again, I think deadly force justified just by the law would have been okay here, but it gets better.
Get out of the car now! Get the fuck out! Get out of the car!
So I'm kind of confused here whether the audio is off on the tape because he's yelling, get out of the car, and they're way on the road. Maybe the cop is panicking and he's just reinforcing because he really can't get it out. This cop seems like he's panicking. And that's why when you're tactically unsound and when you're not prepared for the worst, when the worst happens, you go into panic mode. Your thoughts aren't clear. You're so busy reacting that you don't have good muscle memory and automatic reactions that you don't get on the radio and give out your location. You don't give help. You don't give clear commands. You're out of breath. It shocks you. This guy is fighting hard, and you can tell he's out of breath, and he's probably about to lose the fight, which will be in his favor when he ends up shooting a guy.
Get out of the fucking car now! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!
Now, I don't know if he's saying get the fuck down or get the fuck out, but they're in the back here, and it looks like he's trying to get him on the ground. Suspects leaves him after fighting and trying to get in the car once, leaves him. Now, here is where the defense attorney is going to have, why didn't you lock your car? Why didn't you take the keys out? Why did you chase him? Why didn't you just let him go? And to be honest, if I'm fighting with a dude on the side of the highway like this, let him go. If he wants to step out in traffic and run over, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to shoot a guy on the side of the highway, get in a deadly force situation. But if he's trying to take my car with guns in it, it changes things. So the mindset and totality of circumstances for this officer has got, when he articulates what he was thinking, is I was afraid if he got in his car, he was out of control. He didn't care about his own safety fighting with me. He didn't care that we were both in danger. He was driving like an idiot, pulled over like an idiot, and didn't follow instructions like an idiot, and then fought me to get out of the car when I tried to give him a mask like an idiot. So in my book, he wasn't thinking clearly. He was either under an influence or he was an idiot and mentally ill.
Waretown, get me another unit! Waretown, get me another unit!
So this is the 4th time he's asked for another unit. 4th time. Door opens again. The guy tries to get in his car again, making the officer's case stronger. If this dude gets away, he's going to kill somebody. Do I let him get a 4,000 pound or 5, whatever that truck is, whatever it weighs, 1,000-pound missile capable of killing, and I just did a video where that one guy stole the police car and killed 2 kids, hit a van with 7 kids in it and killed 2 because he was able to steal a police car. So if this cop knew of that case, that would help his case even more. Because he said, look, there was 2 kids just killed because a guy got a patrol car. I'm not letting a guy get my patrol car and kill somebody. So again, the suspect tries to get in a car and steal his car again, or he's trying to get in a car to retrieve shotgun, rifle, weapons, whatever. Obviously, the guy's a no person, and he's dangerous.
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!
Okay, here's where the camera footage is the worst, and here's why I say I'm with the officer, because in my book, tie goes to the officer when a bad guy is committing criminal acts. This guy's a criminal. He's committing several criminal acts. He's committing several violent and dangerous acts. Therefore, if it's between believing him, that he's on his way to doctor school and he's a great upstanding citizen, or believing the officer who was really, really nice and trying to help the guy out and got put in this situation because of the violent offender's actions, I'm siding with the officer on this one. They get in a fight for the gun here, according to the officer, and he ends up shooting him. It's very hard to tell. Several rounds fired. Suspect goes down. Cop's safe now. Public is safer. People on the roads are safer. But Rick, he shot a black man. Well, yeah, the black man did a whole lot of things to get shot. So, here's where he puts out on the radio.
Welcome, shot fired! Welcome, shot fired!
Till he's out of breath. That's going to be in his favor. He's going to say, I was losing my strength. I was losing my grip. He grabbed for my gun. I thought I was going to lose it. This guy already demonstrated he was a danger. If he'd have got my gun, I believe he was going to kill me. This is a life or death situation for me. I had no choice but to use deadly force. I'm okay with this shooting.
Welcome, shot fired now! Give me EMS!
That's like the 6th time he's asked for help.
Hey, where are you?
Where are you? Are you freaking kidding me? He's yelled for help 6 freaking times. He's already asked for help when he went out on the freaking stop, and now they're asking, where are you? This is why I always crack on state police, highway patrol, CHP, whatever they go by. The guys that just go out there and harass drivers have no concept of real police work. All they're used to doing is pulling over little old ladies and giving tickets that are easy and getting on with their donut eating and where they're going to eat lunch and collecting their money in overtime. It's just ridiculous that this guy has to be asked where he's at.
Hey, where are you? 50 southbound, 50 southbound. Where is he? Okay, 41 right now.
So now he's cuffing a suspect. Some people be mad because he's not giving first aid. You know what? I ain't giving first aid. You try to fight with me and kill me on the freaking highway. The last thing I want to do is expose myself, turn you over, and let you play chicken and think that you're hurt, and then you try to grab my gun again. I'm by myself. I just had to use deadly force against you because you created this entire situation. I'm not doing anything till I get another unit here, and I think it's safe to deal with you. And if you bleed out, sorry. Too bad. So sad.
050. Thank you.
The fact that he handcuffs him, if he says I handcuffed him due to policy, it's not as good. It works, but it's not as good as if he handcuffed him because you know what? I was out of breath. I felt like I was going to pass out. When I fired my gun, I was seeing stars. I was lightheaded. My hands were shaking. I could not fight this guy anymore. I had to get him in handcuffs because I didn't know what was going to happen next. If he says that, that's better than I handcuffed him because policy says I have to handcuff him.
Jen Solon, I got this down here, 13, head to him. 773, One car, get me EMS.
We're calling them now, sir.
So this guy, again, he's probably not used to being tactical. He could be on the radio and giving information. Suspect tried to take my gun. I use my firearm. Shots fired. I'm okay. I'm not shot. Suspect is down. He's secure. I need additional units. Shooting team. I need the highway shut off. I need, he could have got out a lot more information. Someone else responding, the first unit, can come time take over and do that. You're going to notice when the unit shows up, he tries to interrupt him because this guy wants to talk and tell the story. He wants to talk and tell the story. And the guy's like, okay. He's trying to calm him down a little bit.
Knock my lights off. All right.
Now, people think this guy's being cold and insensitive. Look, this guy's in panic mode. He just had to kill somebody on the highway. He didn't want to kill him. He was trying to give the guy a ride. He offered him a mask. He was trying to help this dude, and it turned in to where he's in fear of his life and had to shoot him. So he's in a state of shock, whether it's mild shock or mild disorientation, whatever you want to call it. And other people will look at it. That cop didn't even care. He just shot him for no reason and let him lay there and bleed, and he's walking around going in his car and getting a donut so he can eat. Well, I don't think that's what's going on. This cop is not. He's a little bit in shock, and he's still out of breath. He's still talking loud on the radio. His ears are probably still ringing. He's shaking. He's got a big adrenaline jump, and he's standing there waiting. And the worst thing you can do when you get an adrenaline dump is wait. Hear him huffing and puffing? He's trying to get oxygen in his lungs. His large muscle groups are, the adrenaline in his body is shut down everything, and his muscles are trying to get oxygen, and he can't get breath. He seems like he's out of breath, even though he hasn't physically exerted. That's why when you train and they make you do things like push-ups or run or drag a tire or whatever, they're trying to get you out of breath to simulate that adrenaline jump on what your body goes through physically when you're in a high-risk fight or flight.
Yeah, I got to.
So they have to ask if the officer's okay because he hasn't told them. And maybe somebody's asked and he didn't hear. I didn't hear him ask. Somebody should have asked, do you need medical? Is medical for the suspect? What, got more info, but they didn't. They didn't know if he was still fighting. As soon as he got the guy in handcuffs, he should have put out some more info.
He was in my car. Okay. Went to give him the mask. He tried getting out of my car. We got in a fight on the side of the road.
Okay.
He tried running into my car. Okay. I got him out, sprayed him. We got in a fight again. He ran away from me, tried to hop my troop car, grabbed my gun.
Okay.
We were fighting with my gun, and I shot him. He's already cuffed.
He's already cuffed?
Yeah, he's cuffed.
Okay.
Okay, so that story right there, because it's the first story he told, and the way he told it, I believe it. It's not like he's making it up or thinking. He gave good. I didn't know he pepper sprayed him. That's even more. He tried to use non-lethal force on the guy, and it didn't work. That makes this shooting even stronger in his case. Guy tried to take his gun twice, and then he got in a fight over a gun. Now I'm going to go back and show you where his gun was out. Okay, right here in the fight before he shoots him, I'm going to try and pause it where he has his gun was out. Okay, you can kind of see it right here that he has his gun in his hand right here, trying to get the guy off him. Now, I don't know if the guy grabbed it in his holster or if he pulled it out and he was trying to disengage and push the guy away and the guy wouldn't let him back away and now they were in a tug-of match and now they're up close, or maybe he had his, they'll take his prints off the gun and maybe the guy's prints will be on it, maybe it won't. But it doesn't matter. His gun's out right here and you can plainly see it. And that's where the shooting happens, right around this area. Okay, 39 minutes. No one went long. I'm okay with this shooting. I think the cop's in pretty good grounds. Now, obviously, there's a DA that just wants to play the racial issue, they'll make it whatever they want. But by the law, I think this guy's justified, and I think morally in his mind, he didn't have a whole lot of options. He's on the side of the road. Had this guy pushed him out in traffic and he got hit by a car, he's dead. So I'm okay with this shoot. You can go ahead, all the badge polishers come here and hate on me. You're just hating on, you're just hating on. Oh, no. It's not the bad. Now the cops will be on my side. Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. It's the other guys, the cop haters that'll be hating on me. Well, isn't that there?